Hi Virgo, it's your Cosmic Auntie here. I'm so excited to be talking with you right now. I adore you, Virgo. I hope that Leo season has been good to you so far, okay? And really, whenever this video finds you, I hope that it finds you as well as you can be. I am recording this in the early parts of August, Leo season, and during that major conjunction of Uranus, Mars, and the North Node in Taurus. And it's very interesting energy. So if you are watching it like as I record it, I hope that you're finding ways to use this energy, because it's inviting us into those places that need to be confronted, that need to have, we might be experiencing breakthroughs, insights, and like just major kind of confronting truths about ourselves, about our environment or our dynamics in some way. It's, I was saying to Leo, the energy is a bit cagey. It's a bit cagey, and it can be a bit, volatile, edgy, but it also can be incredibly useful. And it's going to lead right into the visual that I have for you when I was tuning the cards to you, because I saw this like shining sword with like kind of almost cartoon like zings coming off of it on either side, Virgo. So there's this clarity that's really coming through here in some way. So let's get into it. We have the star at the bottom of the deck, which just kind of is cool. So again, very clear, starry night. I always feel, Virgo, whenever I think of your archetype, think of your energy, I see the wind blowing through the trees. You have an air element to you a bit, I guess, to me anyway, because you are earth. You are the earth. You are whole. You are intact, right? The earth provides everything that we need. You remind us energetically that we are whole. So I just thought I'd share that with you. And with the wind, like air, it comes to like, the more mental energy, the more cerebral energy, which are the swords in the tarot. So there's, I just feel like such a clearness. I don't know what I want to say, but man, I want to say it, or I have said it, or I'm clear about it. It's very interesting. So let's see what's coming up for Virgo in August. This could be interesting for Virgo suns, moons, risings, or really any kind of Virgo placement that you may be interested in your chart. Always tune into your own inner guidance and intuition, okay, as you listen to this video and the messages, right? You'll just know when they resonate. Don't make anything fit. And please feel free to comment if you'd like to. I love hearing from you. Okay, Virgo. What's going on for Virgo? That clarity. It's like a bell. Bing! Like just ringing through the night. Virgo. Virgo. Okay, Three of Wands. The Death card, the Ten of Wands, the Hanged Man, the Knight of Swords, Eight of Coins, the Tower, Temperance, Queen of Swords, and the Nine of Coins. Very interesting. Leo just had the Nine of Coins in their inner child position as well. Four of Cups. Okay, Virgo. So there's definitely some big energies happening here, and there is the Knight of Swords and the Queen of Swords, which is that cerebral energy I'm sensing, and this is getting pulled out of the water, which is interesting because I feel like you're video, your energy is also going to kind of connect to Scorpio's energy, because as I received your image, I received their image and kind of skipped over Libra. So, and their image was putting a sword into some water. So that led me to study what the process of forging a sword looks like. And it has a full element process. The metal from the earth, extraction from certain minerals, things like that. Fire to warm it up, to melt it, put it in a mold. You know, earth and an action, or, you know, like to bang it in, like, again, fire, causing sparks, taking action, and air, and then water, right? This was gonna create this strong weapon, which is us, which is you. Like, and not to think of yourself as necessarily a weapon, but maybe a little bit. I mean, you have the Knight of Swords in the middle. Look at this Knight of Swords card. There's a bit of like a weapony feel to your reading. Really remembering your edge, and like, yeah, like, I don't know. I mean, the Death card too in your conscious position. You have the Tower as well in your blocked. So there's something that's changed or changing, and there is a lot of like strong and committed intention to it. There's been, you know, action taken towards it. There's been action taken, intentions laid, hopes. And then it's interesting with the Death card, because it seems to be a bit of a, I heard, reality check. When it comes to any kind of like burdens you're experiencing that maybe not even be yours to carry, that are being heaped upon you in some way, there's also some sort of choice, maybe for some of you, a choice to let go and start again, or bear down and commit to the intentions and the what it is that you're experiencing. I don't know, so it could look at either ways. 10 of Wands is coming to the fruition of action. So, you know, whatever that means to you, it's a choice. And I also like to say that it's kind of like an invitation to take inventory. What's yours, what's not, what's coming, what's not, what can be delegated, what's important to you, what incites that passion, what do you want to, you know, make more room for. And then when you have to make more room for something, you have to let go of some things, or you have to create more room in some way. And now it's very interesting because you have the Hanged Man in the past position, Virgo. This silly little crow, silly little raven. This is called the Raven Prophecy deck. It's so powerful. Oh my gosh. It's one of the first decks I've ever gotten. So I see like a certain flexibility in the past and adaptability from you, right? Like a willingness to incorporate, I heard, common goals, and there's an adaptability, and then there's a boundary here in some way. With the desire to continue to commit to working on whatever it is that you're working, building, learning, growing. The tower in the blockages indicates that something has to give in some way, how something has to change. I'm going to pull a clarifier on that, and as I do, the temperance in your strengths. Oh, Virgo, you are such a not. Yeah, there's such a patience to you, even when you're kind of fed up, and there's a certain element of being a little bit like. I don't know. So, why is the tower here in the blockages for Virgo? Can you tell us more about that? Ooh. Oh, that's way too many. Well, the Seven of Coins did kind of pop out, so I will speak to that a little bit. That's all about, again, and it's all about inventory. It's an observation, what's working, what's not, and being clear about that, and perhaps really initiating change in those areas that are not working in that are not assisting in the goal, whatever the goal is for you, however this is resonating for you. Tower, why is it there? What can we learn about that? The Queen of Coins, and then the Lovers. Okay, well, some of you may be looking for more out of like relationships or your environment in some way. Or your work. And others of you are maybe feeling the need to stand up and defend and protect a certain relationship, environment, work. Which is interesting, right? The Queen of Coins, I love this card. And the Lovers, super beautiful. Queen of Coins is also your energy, Virgo. And the Lovers is both like you in relationship, you in life, right? Like you in everything. So there's a certain like level that you have achieved with yourself. Like there's something I guess like maybe some of you are also looking at like realizing that you're not feeling totally met and things like have to change, and there's a clarity with what is being like articulated right now, and like an alchemy and and a willingness to kind of witness the process, I guess. Witness what occurs, and then making your mind up as you witness what you witness. Queen of Swords knows who they are because they have gone through so much. This is what I'm trying to say over here, Virgo. You've taken a lot of time, I can see with these cards, to fall back in love with yourself, okay? And if there's anything kind of pulling at that, just, bring your awareness to it. I can see that you are, and speak to it, which I can see with you, that you are with the Knight of Swords. It's fast too. Like, I don't know if some of you are really needing to like, really stop like and anyone from edging a certain space with you when it comes to like I don't know, this is very kind of giving me like tearing down self-confidence in some way. So maybe you're feeling protective over like the peace that you have found within yourself. And if not, I hope this can be a reminder in some way. Cosmic Auntie wants to remind you. The temperance is in your strengths, so I can see that there's like a certain patient impatience. That there's a level of like kind of quietly observing and preparing, as well as speaking to a boundary or expressing your truth. Something has happened that you have a word about. Death is in the conscious position, so you are consciously changing. Things are changing. You're witnessing that they are changed, or that your feelings have changed, or your thoughts have changed, or your things like that. Like, there's a heaviness of it to your heart, Virgo, that I sense you investigating. Again, with the Ten of Wands. And there's certain intentions and hopes that you have that are both guiding you and I keep hearing is somewhat disappointing you. And they're not the same. The ones that are guiding you, but they are at the same time. It's like, you know, a certain intention for the way that you want to feel in relationship, want to feel in your life, want to bring into your life. It's very interesting reading, Virgo. I can tell that you're sending out your ships. You're keeping a fire warm. You're keeping a fire warm. And perhaps observing like how things do change in regards to speaking up for your truth and your needs. Temperance and the strengths. Can you tell me more about that? Ooh, Queen of Wands. Okay, yeah, there's that fire. Maybe some of you had to kind of like tell someone off in a way. And like are witnessing, you know, the ripples of change that may occur. And like if someone is not able to respect your boundaries, it can be very hard, especially when you have hope for a situation, and there's like common intentions and goals and all of these things. But if you're not feeling hurt, or like, you know, some of you might have had to kind of, stand up for yourself. If there's anything like kind of burdening or heavy in your heart, chipping away at your self-esteem, your self-confidence, your relationship with yourself and the planet, the world, life. Some of you also, again, going back to, some of you may also be very much protecting something that you have been, that's very cherished to you. So something may, like, where you have to kind of like, stand up for yourself and speak your truth. And even if you're not speaking your truth out to people, you are speaking your truth to you. You know your own truth. The Knight of Swords dripping with blood here makes me feel like there's a certain edge coming from you, Virgo, where you're fed up in some way. And there's this process of feeling very protective over what you are building and what you are nurturing and what you are alchemizing. And I feel like some of you are very much initiating this change because it's too much, it's too heavy, and it can't all come with you anymore. It can't. again, like, you know, back to your reading last month where it's like, you know, maybe if someone has their own, it was all about fireworks and kind of shining and celebrating as bright and as much as possible, even though people have, you know, their own thoughts on things or whatever. Like, I equated it to fireworks. Everybody has their own opinion on fireworks and how loud they are, blah, 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 you know. But I encouraged you to shine on them. And so, and that was the energy that was coming through, is like, shine on them. And I feel that in a way too with the Queen of Swords. Remember how far you've come. Remember all the shit you have gone through, and pull out that sword and freaking defend your territory. And you are very smart, you are very compassionate, you are very fierce as well as fair. And you are going to find unique ways, like, to do this. And yeah, sometimes I just heard like oh my gosh, like, freaking, you gotta step, like, you gotta draw that space. And there's just something with that in this energy. It's very much making your inner child very happy. I've sensed there's an element of showing up in this way in a situation that is making your inner child very proud, maybe in a way that you really needed at a younger part of your life. And you've learned through that how to show up for yourself as the person that you are, or the adult that you needed at the time, you know, those kind of things. Like, you really, like, some of you, maybe this may involve your kids as well, like really standing up for your kids and and enacting change, keeping your fires warm. And, you know, there's a lot of ways that this reading can go. But don't let it take away all of this hard work about all the ways that you have tuned into yourself, fallen in love with yourself, shown up for yourself, you know? So that's, I feel, is very important to say. Okay, and the Queen of Swords, again, Heartbreak Queen, has been down to the depths and up again multiple times. And so they know their mind. And when the Queen of Swords energy is utilized in its, you know, in a way that's productive, there's an openness to receive information, but the sword is up, ready to initiate that boundary if needed, okay? And also, they know their truth. So I feel like Spirit is, you know your truth. And like the Queen of Swords and the Queen of Wands are like maybe the two most scrappiest of the queens, right? There's a scrappy energy to your energy right now, Virgo. And it feels like necessary in some way. So, you know, the Knight of Swords can be a bit sharp. So if you're finding yourself like sharp, value and validate as to why, and then think, you know, the only thing that we have to manage is our impact. We can't really, you know, control someone else's responses, but we can kind of be aware of our impact. So there's ways that you can get things across, even in an edgy, kind of cagey, kind of scrappy way. I'm just saying that the Knight of Swords can kind of bring, like, almost saying things before you want to, but you're not usually that that kind of energy. I just am saying, with the planets that are all in conjunct, it could be very easy to kind of like shoot from the hip right now. That being said, there's like almost an element of it being necessary. Like there's almost like just a clarity. Like maybe you are needing to shoot from the hip a bit and really like speak your truth and set a tone in some way, trusting yourself and providing you the room to continue to bloom. Your inner child is very pleased, feels very safe and loved and protected in this energy. So, you know, your kids, if you do have them, or the kids around you, if there are kids around you, can really feel safe in your energy and surroundings, because you're very protective. This is a queen that is going to protect the young at all costs, and also protect their right to be who they are and shine and express and like everything. So there's like this spitting fire kind of energy. It's in your strengths. What's coming up in the Lightworker Oracle for Virgo? And there might be like, you know, with the Death card here in the conscious, the Queen of Swords. The Queen of Swords and the Knight of Swords are going to go in and cut out the rot that is going to become infectious. So there's also an element of like seeing something that may fester in a way, smolder, fester, like, and cutting it out, drawing attention to it, cutting it out. Whoa, these are just flying out today. Where did it go? Where? Okay, we've got Family of Light. Sorry, I thought it was loud. So I see immediately in this card, this like protection, okay? Temperance card is also very much like you're guided and protected by whatever energies you surround yourself with. So I do sense there's an element of like you are safe and loved and protected. So let's see. 17, my favorite number. Okay. The limits that much of humanity place upon their love, that they will love their own family, country, religion, or community better than they love those on the outside, do not restrain your heart. I think I feel the limits that much of humanity place upon their love, that they will love their own family, country, religion, or community better than they love those on the outside, do not restrain your heart. You are capable of loving humanity. Okay, I guess I read it right. You are capable of loving humanity, of loving all creation on earth as an extended spiritual family. You will love all as your own. You are meant to belong to a broader family of light. Interesting. A broader family of light. Perhaps you're really out, you know, really folding that energy in and finding your boundaries with it, because I'm sensing that yeah, you do have a lot of love for the whole world, as well as like your own important people that are around you. This may be what's causing maybe some of the heavy-heartedness. Let's see. Oh. All right, so we have the Seven of Swords, the Six of Swords, and the Ace of Cups. So some of you may be experiencing some challenges in maybe your family or community in some way. And this is like Spirit's way of saying you always have love around you, no matter what like changes in your relationships or in your like family dynamic. And there's some things that I sense you are really releasing right now. You are removing, you are shedding, and that causes change. And the Seven of Swords always brings a little bit of a tricky energy to it, and the Six of Swords is moving on from a time of conflict, and then the Ace of Cups is you and how you feel. So regardless of what is happening, what changes you are witnessing in your environment, the changes you are feeling, the changes that you are enacting, I really do sense there's an element of really expressing yourself, standing up for yourself, speaking your truth, setting a boundary. It's a bit scrappy, it's a bit cagey. It's kind of coming to this like limit. There's a kind of a almost a just like it's a pressure with the Ten of Wands. Things kind of gotta give. And even if there's like redistribution of how you interact with certain people in your life, your friends,